today. The whole new acronym thing drives me effing bananas. Can we call him by his name?
Shelter and Mass on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
I did a little poking around last night, and I don't know this to be factual, and please don't sue me, Bill Belichick, but there's a theory out there. There's a theory, there's a belief, there's a suspicion that this is a deliberate PR strategy aimed at the Gio Lopez type of concern about Belichick, making football not enjoyable. We didn't talk about the Gio Lopez quotes.
Yeah,
we
right.
did that on a Friday with Holly. But Gio Lopez, who was the quarterback last year, started 11 games, transferred to Wake Forest. He had some things to say about how he didn't enjoy football anymore. He didn't love football anymore. Being in Bill Belichick's program, Lopez's dad had some things to say. There's an issue there with recruiting because the players and some of their parents may not be thrilled with Bill Belichick's methods because these aren't grown men. These aren't adults. These are guys who should be out shotgunning beers.
Well, yeah, and listen, even the grown men were getting a little tired of that shtick and that way.
Bill Belichick did a round of interviews this past week, and we didn't really hit on him. We touched on him a little bit, but that's an interesting take right there. You know, Murray had said that Bill was doing this to, keep his name relevant in NFL circles. Florio and Sims are saying, no, they're getting antsy. Well, long since getting antsy at Carolina, but more recently, Gio Lopez, that was a quarterback last year, right?
Yes.
His parents came out, or his camp came out and said it was no fun, and it was good to be he transfers, so it's good to be at a place where football's fun again, and that sort of stuff. And this is a response to that as much as it is Bill trying to get back in the NFL. I don't know if you guys had a thought before I go ahead.
Well, I'll just say, I'll tell you what, I'll take either one because I think Bill's treating college like semi-retirement. Really, that felt like a half-assed season. They weren't prepared to start the year. He's trying to apply NFL principle. Like, did he make any effort really to try to learn the college game and the college, what's the right word, mechanisms or mechanics of college football now instead of, we said way back when, Mike, you remember he was offering contracts that had incentives?
Oh, yeah. No. Well, no, he was offering NIL.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant. I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
I meant for the college players. He's trying to pull the same crap he pulled here. College kids looking at that going, go pound sand, old man. Seriously.
Yeah, because they seem like they've been pretty baseline. The money, you just get the money that they say they're going to give you when you're getting those NIL deals.
Right. And, instead he wanted to manipulate that whole thing.
Of course he did.
Like ridiculous. So I think he's kind of embarrassed himself. He wasn't serious about the job.
So the thing that I just, I've just listened to some clips of him because I don't think, well, listen, I mean, how do you do an interview with him? And it was Hannity and the Barstool guys. How do you do an interview with him and not ask him about Jordan Hudson or some of the remaining questions from here? Like, you got him. You wouldn't even ask him those questions. So it's like, I know what I'm going to get there, and that's not much, and I don't think I got much. But, any sort of relevant half question, I can still parse the bull crap mass. Like, what does bother me, how he just passive-aggressively, he's a congenital liar. He cannot tell the truth. He can't come close to telling the truth. And I'll just give you a couple examples. He was asked about, I guess he was asked how it ended with Brady. I don't know exactly what the question was. But Hannity did ask him about Brady, and I guess at the end. And this was the exchange. Go ahead, Jimmy.
We were just at the end. And honestly, I was happy for him that things worked out well for him in Tampa because he was with a team and he made.
Were you happy about that?
Well, for him, because Tom, it wouldn't have gone well in 2020 at New England. I can guarantee you that. We put everything we had in the 19 season, including paying him, a lot of money at the end of the year without anything for it. There was no first right of refusal. There was no franchise tag or nothing. And so, we all understood that, there's a good chance that he would leave. And I think he made a great career decision, obviously. I wish we could have done more, but we went as far as we could. And look, he proved, that he could play longer than anybody and play at a higher level than anybody. And that was, again, a tremendous credit to him.
So there's just so much wrong with that comment. It wouldn't have gone well here. I can guarantee you that. Let me ask you, Maz. Do you remember what they went in 2020 with Cam effing Newton as their quarterback?
9-7, I believe. 7-9. 7-9.
7-9. Okay, they weren't 4-12. This was right before they went to 17 games. It was a 16-game schedule. And this includes some games where Cam Newton missed because of COVID and went to my guy Brian Hoyer, right? Wasn't that the game in
Kansas City? Kansas
City, I want to say. So, I mean, Cam Newton was as bad as you can picture a quarterback being that year, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't think if Tom Brady was there, they would have had a 10-win season, something like that?
They definitely would have been a playoff team. It would have been something like that, yeah. 10-6, or did they already go to 17 games? Either way, yeah, they would have been a playoff team.
Those were still the 16-game schedules. So what do you mean it wouldn't have gone well? You got to 7 wins with just about the worst quarterback play we've ever seen. So if you can sniff 500 with Cam Newton, how can you not be 3 games over 500 with Tom Brady and be in the playoff picture? That's just a lie. You know what I mean, Mass?
Of course it is. It's a complete total lie. And again, like this whole idea that, we knew there was a chance he was going to... They pushed him out, basically, is what they did. He doesn't want to own it. He's never wanted to own it.
And we paid him so much money the year before. We paid him a lot of money with nothing to show for it, meaning no right of first refusal, no franchise tag, nothing like that. Well, that's throwing Robert right under the bus.
I was just going to say that. That was clearly a shot at Kraft. And I called up the contract while you were, talking at the beginning.
$23 million.
Yeah, I wanted to double check it. And I started to think, when I initially saw that comment, I started to think, was there some sort of bonus at the end, like a farewell, a goodbye kiss that they gave him or something? Because I don't remember making a crap ton of money that year.
Maz, I did the same thing. Because I'm like, what did they... I thought they were, by then... Nope. That year at Spo Track, he was on a 1-year, $23 million contract, which was good money, but nowhere near the top of the market. And he wasn't even asking for top of the market. He was asking for 2 at 25, and they wouldn't give it to him. Because they had they couldn't give him any more? That's just a lie. It's just a lie, and it wouldn't have gone well here? Well, define well. What do you mean it wouldn't have gone well here? You probably would have been a playoff team, and we did everything we could. Well, on that, I kind of feel him on that. That was the year they signed Antonio Brown to begin the year, right? And then traded, yeah. And then traded for Mohamed Sanu midway through the year?
Yep.
Yes.
That was that year. So they did try to an extent, I guess. But we know how this goes. What? Like they couldn't do anything in 2020? It's bullcrap. It's a lie. He can't own it. He can't own that decision. And he can't own anything. And that's what bothers me. It's like the man is a habitual, congenital liar. He can't stop. And he can't own anything. And it's all just sort of thinly veiled, passive-aggressive, cover his ass, rewrite history, always make sure that he's not the guy. And it's just, for someone who has accomplished as much as he's accomplished, it is ridiculous. I've said this a million times, and people never got it. Maybe you do now. How just incredibly insecure Bill Belichick is. Defensive, passive-aggressive, and at the root of it, insecure. And he just still, to this day, can't say, yeah, we probably should have kept him. That's all he has to say. Yeah, we probably should have kept him. The truth is so easy. The truth is so obvious. He wasn't asking for the top of the market contract. We should have paid him. We should have kept him. That's all they have to say. But could Bill ever bring himself to do that?
No way.
No, it's never going to happen.
So it's the more things change, the more they stay the same. Another Belichick cut that kind of went up my ass to bring it back in the next segment, and then right back to your phone calls here on an agenda-free Friday.
Felger,
Shush.
Maz, the Sports Hub.
This is the way it was. At New England, we won almost every game. We were favored in almost every game. Mm-hmm. Everybody expected us to win every game. And so externally, everybody talked about how great we were or how great we were going to be. And it was all, you go to the store, go get gas, go do, and if, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great. And so I always wanted to have balance. And I didn't want, they heard how great they were, but at some point, you got to hear, you suck. Well, here's how we can do better. It's not as good as it could be.
That way.
No, that's the truth. And trust me, I said that plenty of times. Yeah, we might have won 41-14, but we played terrible. Like, let's don't kid ourselves here. We got away with a lot of stuff that we're not going to get away with against a better team or another day. And so let's look at this, because this is what we need to improve. All right, yeah, we took advantage of a couple mistakes they made, and the game got out of hand. But honestly, if we go and play the way we played, we're going to lose against a good team. And that's how I tried to balance it.
Does that explain why Bill Belichick was such an a-hole? Or was Bill Belichick an a-hole because he's an a-hole?
That.
You know what I mean? It's like, so that ties into that Florio and Sims comment. Like, he's trying to rehab his image, or, he's got to recruit. Kids have got to want to come play for him. So he's not the a-hole that everyone says that he is. So he explains his a-holeness by saying, well, we were so good, I had to keep him in check. Well, what was his nickname coming out of the Giants, Miss?
Oh, Gloom or Glum, one of those two.
Gloom, yeah.
Gloom.
Or Glum, right, yeah. Bill Belichick, win, lose, or draw, has been uniformly considered from mostly the beginning of his career to now a real a-hole. Everyone, from the people with the Giants to Art Modell to a lot of the people he worked with in New England to now the people in North Carolina, they all say the same thing. What an a-hole. Who can coach? And then, you'll get the other side that says, well, he's not so bad. You get him on the right day. He's, when he's away from the cameras, he's different. When he's away from the media, he's different. Listen, I've seen all sides. I kind of think the thing away from the camera is kind of a put on. When he tries to be nice, he can be kind of nice. But at his root, he's a freaking a-hole. And it had nothing to do with you winning or losing. He was an a-hole when you lost. He's an a-hole when you won. He's an a-hole in Boston, Cleveland, New York, and now Chapel Hill. That's just what he is. So please, spare me I had to do it because everyone was telling us how great we were. That's only a fraction of it. It doesn't explain who you are and how you carry yourself.
Do you think any of those guys thought to ask him, like, Mike, so I understand you said Jordan Hudson a little while ago, which I get. I mean, I'm with you. Everything should be in bounds. But let's say you wanted to actually keep it to college football, and Bill's whole platform of, I'll give me your son and I'll turn him into a better football player and I'll turn him into a better person. Do you think anyone thought to ask, hey, Bill, how come you didn't have a single kid drafted? If you're so good at this and you're turning these guys into good players.
And men.
How come not a single one of your guys in year one got picked in the draft? Not high in the draft, picked, period. How come not a single guy from North Carolina got picked to play in the NFL?
Because that wasn't the nature of those interviews. You know the answer.
Ugh.
He granted access, and so they couldn't and didn't want to go anywhere near that kind of ask anything interesting. So we got nothing interesting except for Bill's usual passive-aggressive bullcrap and lying. Anyway, back to your phones here as promised. Brian in Salem wants to follow up on that. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, hey guys. On those comments with Hannity, two things stood out to me. One, the lie of we went all in for 2019. Their top tight end was Benjamin Watson, who was maybe 40, and then they, in a panic move and also a stroke of luck, were able to sign Antonio Brown right before the season started. And then regarding his comments on 2020 with Brady leaving and it being a good move for him and talking about the decline of the roster, that's good and all, but you are also the GM. You stood by why the roster just got depleted.
Absolutely right. It's a good point. Why was the roster so, unless he wants to blame Kraft, which I'm sure that he does.
He drafted like garbage during that period.
It's never him. It's just whatever the answer is,
exactly.
It's never him.
I was just trying to look this up. Points against. They were a top 10 defense.
In 19, there was the boogeyman. Ooh.
Oh, no, that's actually, no, in 2020. So, because Bill said if Brady had stayed, it wouldn't have gone well for him, believe me. Okay. They went 7-9 with the worst quarterback play we've just about ever seen in Cam Newton. Okay. So they went 7-9 with Cam Newton and some Brian Hoyer mixed in, and it was a COVID year and it was all that nonsense. They went 7-9 that year, but they had a top 10 defense. You think Tom Brady with a top 10 defense brings you into playoff contention, if not the playoffs? It's just a lie.
Yeah,
it's just
lying to himself.
It just because he can't bring himself to just state the obvious. We should have kept him. That does that kill Bill Belichick's legacy?
No.
If he just admits doesn't that like?
No, it actually helps it. I think
I'm with Murray. I think
course.
it enhances his legacy.
Of course it does. Of course it does. It humanizes you.
Yeah, it shows you're man enough to admit a major mistake.
Any of us, and us, we don't matter. But any of us who thought it was the right move or that Belichick was somehow more important were wrong. Simple, wrong. And they were wrong to let him go. He wasn't asking for that much. He was asking for 2 years, $50 million. He was asking for a Drew Brees contract, which wasn't even the highest in the game. It wasn't even top 3, I don't think, at the time. And that would have kept him despite all the problems that they were having with Alex Guerrero and all the off-the-field stuff. All that stuff was real. But Brady kept asking for that contract. If they had given it to him, he would have stayed. They should have kept him. Simple. It's obvious. You can tell, but Bill cannot bring himself to admit it because he's still small. He's still small and insecure. And it's amazing. All these years later, it has not changed. Chris in Chicago has a thought for us on the hockey last night. Go ahead, Chris.
Guys, did you see Cole Caulfield's first goal last night?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was just wondering, is that what skill looks like? I wouldn't really know watching the Bruins. And
Yo, I'm sorry. You mean fly around the ice and go top shelf with the goalie down and him giving you the top of the net? You can actually hit it? Like that thing? That whole Canadiens team is kind of scary.
They do have a lot of skilled players. I mean, they're and you're right about the size. They are little, man. They're like a bunch of freaking mites out there.
So I think they're going to push the boundaries of this. I mean, I still think you've got to have some size and real toughness. And I'm not telling you they don't. They've Anderson. So they have some toughness. But there's a lot of little fellas just buzzing around out there who are, whether it's Suzuki or Caulfield or Hudson. I mean, they're all really good players. But, man, they are really pushing in terms of it's just speed and skill. And we'll see. I mean, I think all the recent Stanley Cup champions had a lot of grit and played physical to a point and had some size. And I think it's hard to go all the way with what Montreal's doing. But let's see. Let's see. Maybe they can do it. Steve in Foxborough on a truly agenda-free Friday has a question for us. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, guys. I'm in roofing contractor sales, and I have a company car. And they've been tracking me from New York with my speed. And now they tell me if I go over 75 miles an hour, they're going to take away the company car. I'm like, you can't drive in Massachusetts and not go 75, 80 on the highways. What's your opinion on that?
75 is too low.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. My guess is it's a liability or insurance issue.
Yeah, find where that is in the car and rip it off and say, you don't know what happened. That's ridiculous.
I mean, if they're monitoring it, then because they're company cars, they probably have to pay a higher premium or something. I'm just guessing here, but money's got to be at the root of it somewhere. So, like, I'm just telling you, the insurance company says, well, your guy drives over 75. If he stays under 75, you'll save $10,000.
Like, for instance, this reminds me of one of my first radio jobs. I worked in the street team at WZLX, and at the time, it was the late 90s. What were those things? They were like the walkie-talkies. They'd make the chirp.
You mean the scanners or like the radar detectors?
No, they were like phones. They were phones, but also they had the walkie-talkie thing on them. People know what I'm talking about from back in the day. A lot of contractors had them. But either way, we had those. So at the head of the street team.
Motorola things?
Yes. Yeah, because we always got to be in touch with you. Like, there might be another event that pops up. We need to know where you are. Turn that right off.
Emergency call street team guy?
Yeah. They always want to know where we are. I would just turn that off. Go hang at Revere Beach. Get some clams.
We have a street team emergency. We have to hand out free T-shirts in Copley Square. Are you over? Like, it was like that?
Listen, radio was bigger back then. People wanted those T-shirts in the late 90s. But either way, that turned that thing right off.
Yeah, they had like a 2-mile radius or something. Those things? Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about.
So again, it's truly agenda free. You can call us on crap like that today. Chris in England on this Southampton Spygate. Listen, I don't know what this is. To make it interesting, you got to be quick and make it interesting. What about this thing?
Oi, lad.
So pretty much the Spygate is kind of like what happened with New England Spygate. So what they were doing is they're playing Middlesbrough in a playoff semifinal. So they went in 3 days earlier, legit had a guy go to a golf club, which is next to the training ground. When they went next to the training ground, he went in, changed his clothes, went behind probably the smallest tree ever. Look up the pictures. It's hilarious. And he has a binoculars, and he's writing down what's going on in the training match. They played the games. Southampton beats Middlesbrough, and then they're going to play in the playoff final. Then there's this whole investigation that had to be done in 72 hours, and then, boom, they kicked them out of the championship game. Quick synopsis.
Okay.
Southampton,
I don't know why we're supposed to care. Go ahead.
Southampton have somehow managed to turn this affair into worthy of the tabloids, Nigel. I want to know if they're talking about it on their sports radio over there.
Oh, yeah, that must be great. Get the audio.
Only if they're doing it right. Craig in the car on our Belichick conversation. Go, Craig.
So you're always talking about how Belichick, the coach, is an a-hole, and in real life he's an a-hole. So Felger, the radio host, is an a-hole. What are you like in real life?
Yeah, it depends who you ask. But I'm sure some people think I'm an a-hole. I don't think I am. What can I tell you? I'll tell you what I have going for me is that I'm a truth teller. Even in my walk, if you tell the truth, then that you can be an a-hole, but I don't feel guilty. You just tell the truth. So unlike Belichick, I can tell the truth. I can admit when I'm wrong. If you're making some sort of comparison, yes, Maz.
If you tell the truth, it becomes part of your past. If you lie, it becomes part of your future.
As a brilliant man once told us.
Murray and I aren't going to stand in your way.
Your truth-telling is a burden to hear you say, you know.
What is? But also, I sleep well at night. And you know why, Murray? Because I don't lie. It's just like, you know. Bill probably sleeps. Bill lies so much he doesn't know that he's lying. He doesn't even realize he's lying. He just lives the lies.
No. But we're missing the whole point of everything that's gone on here. I've been blackmailed 7 months ago.
Remember, it's not a lie. See, Belichick operates under the premise of that old line, it's not a lie if you believe it.
If you tell the truth, your problem becomes part of your past. If you lie, it becomes part of your future.
Thank you, Rick. Let's do an update and then come right back here on Agenda Free Friday.
I want to apologize to you as professionals.
Mike and Tony have a definite chemistry.
Are they? 100%.
Are they?
Yes, 100. Do I stutter?
Do you consider them the periodic table of sports talk?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry. We need to blow a gasket.
No. Blow it, baby. Blow it.
Belger and Maz.
Maz, we need to clean up something from before. We scolded a caller for trying to tell us they actually lowered the mound in 1968 versus raising the mound in the year of the pitcher and Bob Gibson and everything we've been led to believe. It turns out it's wrong. The caller was right. Do you want to set the record straight on this?
Yeah, so what happened over a period of years is that pitchers became more and more dominant in Major League Baseball, and the strike zone actually grew. What the caller said was right. I was always under the impression that the mound got raised. It's not true. The mound was at its existing height, and they lowered it a little after 68 because pitchers had become too dominant. So I'll tell you what, again, Mike, it's a common misconception. But now that we know that, shouldn't that be one of the first things they do to try to address the problem now?
Yes, well, how no one can get a hit.
Right. So it went from 15 inches to 10 inches. Can we drop it another 5?
I was going to say, so it's still at 10, like it's been there since?
I presume. But to me, adjusting the mound, it might be the easiest fix. You know, just move it a foot. Move the mound back a foot. Lower it 5 inches. Like, whatever. And if you want to start with one over the other, fine, that's whatever. They got to do something. This is ridiculous. What's going on in the sport is ridiculous. There's no offense in the game. There are not enough balls in play, and there aren't enough hits.
Keep tinkering. They've done a good job. They've thrown a lot of things at the problem. You know, a lot of things. Outlawing the shifts, bigger bases, all the stuff with the pitchers and the minimum batters and the pitch clock, obviously, and all this. Trying to jar the game loose offensively. And they've done a good job. They've quickened the pace, but they haven't really jarred that key thing of balls in play and base hits and like all elements of the game. They have not. There's just way, way, way too many strikeouts. Way too many strikeouts and not enough base hits. And they got to figure that out. So keep tinkering. Don't stop. Back to your phones on Agenda Free Friday. Josh in North Attleboro. Hi, Josh.
Hey, guys. I was thinking about it. Porzingis came from Washington where he's wasted away. Anthony Davis was recently traded there. Now, I know he's a little older. He's costly on the salary cap or whatever, but
Josh,
I think that he could be a good addition because...
Okay, I'm going to cut you off. Thank you so much, guys. Anthony Davis.
No,
he is on the final hole of the back nine and is more interested in hosting like a dumb comedy show at this point.
Dan in Springfield on Bill Belichick. Hi, Dan.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that you guys point out that Belichick won't own pushing Brady out the door, et cetera, but he'll sure as heck own 2 rings from the Giants as an assistant and put it on his boat.
Dan, all these football coaches have the same thing. Because I guess it's so, look, you can understand why. There are so many coaches out there, and there's so many on a staff. Why? What? There are like a dozen coaches on every staff. And the big jobs are so lucrative, and they're so hard to get. And it's hard to figure out from the outside who's responsible for what. So I think that's created this culture in the football coaching community where everyone is so just self-promoting. And, that was my call. That was my guy. We did that. We practiced that on Friday. Well, that wasn't my guy. That was his guy. He drafted him. That wasn't me. Well, we coached that during the week. Well, like all these coaches are just so sensitive and so... that's just how they're wired, to tell you everything that they did right and how they were responsible for the things that went right and running from the things that were wrong. And I get it from across the coaching community. But you would think, Maz, once you've won 6 Super Bowls on your own, coached longer and better than just about anyone in the history of the game, that you'd be able to drop that you'd be able to admit where you were wrong, admit the things that you got right, admit the things that you got wrong, and just stand on the merits of your track record. But Bill can't do it. Bill operates like he's still that career assistant who has to tell you everything he did right to get credit for it and run from everything that he did wrong so he doesn't get blamed for it. And he's as bad as any coach I've ever seen in that regard. It's brutal. And to be at this stage of his career and still operate that way is an amazing case study to me. But that's the deal with Bill Belichick.
It certainly suggests some sort of deep-rooted insecurity, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, that's just the heart of it.
Deep-rooted.
My God. After all that winning, is it really going to harm you to say, we got that one wrong? Is it really? Like, it's so obvious now. Yeah, we probably should have kept him. That's all he has to say on Brady. Yeah, we probably should have kept him. Like, it's pretty obvious. We probably could have kept him. But nope, he can't bring himself to do that. How about Tom in Quincy? What do you got on the Sox, Tommy? Quick.
What's going on, guys? Hey, first of all, I love Agenda Free Friday, so I can speak to my own a-holedness in this way. With the Sox coming off a sweep, right? Where, Mike, you would say, like, ooh, sweep the Royals. Wee! Right? Everyone is all over the Red Sox pitching staff and how good they are. And I heard Maz the other day make a good point that the league average in MLB is like 240 or 241 or something. So it's not like, I mean, as much as I love it, it's a pleasant surprise. Trust me. Like, I'm happy to see what Sonny Gray and these guys are doing. I like Tolley. I like Early, all these guys. The Bayo thing, to me, I could do without. But I will say this much. When the hitting across Major League Baseball sucks as bad as it does nowadays, where, like, they don't have to game plan towards a lineup. You just have, you have these random guys sprinkled out amongst the league that are pretty good. But you don't have to go in. Maybe the Dodgers, besides them, who honestly has a lineup that you have to sit down and go, how can I attack this hitter? You don't have to worry about attacking the hitter because none of them can hit anymore.
Thanks, Tom, for the call. What the Red Sox are accomplishing, Maz, a lot of teams are accomplishing, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. Now, look, again, it's all relative. In the month of May, they've been second or third best or whatever it is. So, yes, they're throwing the ball well. I'm not disputing that. I'm just telling you it's also a pitcher's era. So let's not go too far with it. And the answer to Tom's question, the Braves can hit. The Braves can hit. So I would add the Braves to that list. There's a couple of other teams that have good lineups, just to throw that out there. But the Red Sox want to stroke themselves about it now. Like, every time they get something right, they want to stroke themselves. And the fact of the matter is, they're still one of the worst teams in baseball. They haven't really clipped over that line yet. And they should be one of the best teams in baseball. Let's not forget what the standard is. Okay? So now all of a sudden the standard is mediocrity, like 85 wins is good?
That's what they want.
85 wins 15 years ago with this team would have been a huge disappointment. So we've lowered the standard. Sadly, we've lowered it.
Long commercial-free segment and your phone calls comes your way right after this.
Oh, yeah!
Thoughts, calls, emails.
Oh, yeah!
I get my jollies out of it. I do. I'm not a good person. Go ahead.
Felger and Maz.
Oh, yeah.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
The Lightning Round, brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors.
Indeed, when the unthinkable happens, fire, flood, storm, or structural damage, our guys at Blue Sky are ready to respond 24/7, and they take care of everything from beginning to end. If you're experiencing water damage from all the rain yesterday, visit gobluesky.com. How many times do I have to tell you there's no E in there? BLUSKY, and it's not Bluesky, as Maz once pronounced it. It's Blue Sky. There's just no E.
Get it right. That was Blusky.
Blusky, excuse me. GoBlueSky.com. No E. Simple as that. All right, to your phones here, as promised. Corey in Costa Rica on soccer. Go, Corey, quick.
How you doing, buddy? I've been down here in Central America, South America, 4 or 5 years, and everything down here is soccer, soccer, soccer. And what I got into it, I get into the particulars of the game, and it doesn't matter if you're you don't have to be 7 feet tall. You don't have to be a linebacker. And anybody who wants to get into it, watch the finals of 2022
Corey.
of France versus Argentina.
You're saying soccer's great.
I'm saying it's a lot more.
You're saying soccer's great. Jesus. It's a lightning round. Yes, but I need someone to root for. Okay? I'm not picking up a Premier League team. I have no connection to any team in Europe. I need the U.S. to be good. If you want me to get into soccer, I need Team USA to be good, and then I need MLS to be accessible and real, and then a team that I care about to root for in MLS. That's what I need. I can't just adopt a Premier League team or some other foreign country. And I have to root for someone. So I need the Americans to be better than they are. And they're not. They've taken steps back in the last decade. Sorry. Wally and Fall River on the lightning round. You got to be quick, Wally. Go.
All right. What's up with our Red Sox? There is a possibility we can get back to 500. We're wasting a lot of good pitching. I'd like to see him go out and get Matt Chapman and hope Roman Anthony gets straightened out. But this thing is doable because the rest of the league stinks.
Okay, Matt Chapman, Maz?
So I liked Chapman when he was with Oakland. I don't know what kind of year he's having. I'm punching him up right now. He's with the Giants. He's right-handed bat. He's a great third baseman. He's got some power. He's 33 years old now. He's hitting .226 this year. Numbers are way down. He's only got 1 home run.
Roman Anthony doesn't feel like he's coming back anytime soon, does he, Maz?
No. Again, Sam Kennedy made a comment today on our competitors about how he has a sprain in the ring finger of his left hand or right hand. I can't remember which one it is. Probably his right, because that's his bottom hand as a hitter. And that doesn't sound good to me. If that thing flared up, he's going to miss more time.
What do we call him, Big Jim?
Roman Garoppolo.
Here's Jake in Boston on Bill Belichick on the lightning round, which means you got to be quick, Jake. Go.
All right, Felger, by the way, there's a thin line between a realist and an a-hole, and you're a realist, not an a-hole.
Thank you.
When I was in high school, I played lacrosse against Belichick's son, and I was the backup goalie, so I was sitting up on the sideline and went up to him and asked him to sign my Red Sox hat, and he said no. And so it was right after we got Randy Moss and Brandon Merriweather, and I was like, how do you think that's going to go? And he was like, oh, we're going to make it work. And looks at the guy next to him and goes, get this freaking kid away from me.
The fact that he doesn't sign doesn't make him an asshole. I never.
Oh, that one came out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Memorial Day weekend.
Sorry.
A little loose.
The amazing thing is even Murray didn't notice it.
No, I did.
Notice it.
I wanted to see if you'd keep going. Throw a few more in there.
It went right by him. That was great.
My bad. The fact that he didn't sign doesn't make him an a-hole. I don't get on guys for not. The signing thing is hard. Did I just do it again?
No. It just made me laugh again. That's all. Go ahead.
But it's how you do it, I guess. But either way, I don't know, Maz, if you want to follow up on that.
No, I don't.
Here's Mike and Warwick on the lightning round. Go ahead, Mike.
What's going on, fellas? Happy Friday. Just a quick Red Sox point. I know it's been a big point of contention with the infield on the team not having set players, but right now with Durbin being technically an everyday third baseman, I was curious why they haven't brought Nate Eaton up and what the plan for Roman Gonzalez is going to be.
So I don't think Durbin's been every day the last week, Maz, has he?
No, he has not. No, Sogard's been over there a little bit more. I'm surprised he's still in the roster, if you want to know the truth. When they made a move yesterday, and I can't remember who the hell they sent down now that I think about it. Cutter Crawford went to the 60-day DL. Anyway.
Zach Kelly.
It was Zach Kelly. I thought it was going to be Bayo. I was hoping it was Bayo going to the minor leagues or that they were sending Durbin out. I thought it was going to be someone of consequence. I'd like to see them start throwing their weight around and shipping some of these clowns down to the minor leagues.
So stay tuned. Jared Carabas will play a cut. He'll tell you why Caleb Durbin is still on the roster. Meanwhile, Jim in Rhode Island, subject line, Felger's horrible takes on the lightning round. So we got to be quick with my horrible takes, Jim. Go ahead.
Yeah, first one, your Brown skid mark, check mark with Mike Trout coming to Boston. Never going to happen. Your second horrible take is Wemby is only good because he's tall, and that's why he's better than Jokic. Two horrendous takes, Felger.
You're misrepresenting. The Trout thing's not a take. It's just a poorly sourced rumor that came across my phone. That's not a take. So, And I didn't say that Wembanyama's good only because he's tall. But you got to admit, a lot of his if he were 6'4", what would we be talking about? I mean, come on.
Okay, but don't you think that is a somewhat disingenuous response? And when I say that, I mean the whole thing that makes him different is that he's 7'4" and can play like he's 6'4". It's part just like the flaw in the sport. Is that he's just? I mean, I know that this is to diminish him a little bit. It's true. He is just really tall. Like his skill set is that he's really skilled for a guy his size. Exactly.
Okay, so he's just it's just how God made him.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a genetic thing that makes him so great. It's just that he's really tall.
Yeah, isn't that true of just about every guy in the NBA?
Yes, the flaw of the sport. Yes, that's why I say it speaks to sort of the flaw in the sport.
But don't you think it's also true of just about every guy in professional sports?
No. I think in other sports, greatness can come in all different shapes and sizes. It helps to be big. There's no question about it. But little baseball players, little football players, little hockey players can excel at a high, high level.
I just mean from the standpoint of being genetically gifted.
Yeah, but I think that in those other sports, more intangible things come into play.
Okay, that's probably true.
A little guy who's tough, can make it in football. A little guy who's tough in basketball is just going to be a little guy who's tough in basketball. He'll never be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, listen, I'm just trying to give a little bit of a different thing on Wembanyama, and you have to admit, it's just the thing is largely dependent on just how effing long he is, and you got to admit, what does it take for him to get the ball at the top of the restricted area and then turn around and just drop it in the basket without even leaving his feet? What does that take?
Not much.
So
yeah, but then, but also, Mike, then every 7'4" guy would be able to play, and we know they can't. You know what I mean? So it is selling him a little bit short, and I get you on the thing by the bucket. He can turn around and drop it in. Great, if I were 7'4", I could do that too. But I there's a lot of stiffs that are 7'4".
Why are we getting so many calls on the lightning round? It's brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors about this effing Premier Soccer thing. Ben and Austin, go.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, the comparison in punishments between the Patriots and a team in Southampton. They were supposed to play in a playoff tomorrow to get promoted to the Premier League. They call it the most lucrative game in the world, well over $100 million. The coach for Southampton sent a minion to take photos of the practice of the opposing team. They got caught, and they just got kicked out of the game, lost the potential to play in the game to make hundreds of millions.
Right. Meanwhile, here, Belichick didn't even get suspended, and they didn't miss a game, and I got it.
We're talking espionage with this club, Nigel. Extraordinary scenes across the pond.
And the guy who took the pictures was wearing a tag that said NFL photographer 138.
No, you sent me the picture of the guy behind the tree. It's kind of comical. I just, other than, okay, they got punished more than the Patriots did, what's the story? Is it really that interesting? Are you really that interested in this?
I'm telling you, Davies, this scandal goes all the way to the top.
Yeah, Felgus, see, we're not the only ones who cheat.
The Lightning Round brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. You want to visit Go Blue Sky, no E, GoBlueSky.com. Chris Gasper joins us after Murray's 90-second update, no commercials.